I'm live, according to the notification I just received. And that means I'm streaming here, and that means the chat has popped out here. And I can see me there, and I can see you there. Hello, Galaxy. Chris Pirillo here for another live edition of the Lockergnome Daily Report. I am going to tell you about part of my day, given that I talked about the other part of my day in the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Pirillo, where I uploaded my first impressions of the iPhone X. And according to chat, it seems I'm the only person left on planet Earth who does not have an iPhone X or want one. But let's go ahead and move on to greener pastures, shall we? I really don't want to talk about the iPhone X right now. I'm done talking about the iPhone X. It is completely uninteresting to me. It's, now kind of a dead horse in my book, and I have nothing else to say about it at this stage. So I would like to talk about how I spent a good part of the morning, and that was reporting an issue to Google about the Nexus, I did it again, the Pixel 2 XL. And this is really depressing, honestly. I'm probably this close to posting a video tomorrow, my Pixel XL or Pixel 2 XL review, and that will be summarized in a simple statement: don't get it, don't buy it. Here's why: not because the hardware is less than stellar, which of course has been demonstrated it is. LG is you really dropped the ball, and Google chose the wrong partner with this product. But this is really speaking more to Google's lack of customer service. Now, the agent who helped me, I think, did a fantastic job in terms of what she could do. She was very kind, very descriptive in terms of what I needed to do. In relation to the chat that we were having about a particular issue I was having in relation to the hardware. What was one of the things I said was going to be a problem in terms of switching from iOS to Android or moving from Apple to Google? One of those issues could very well have been in relation to customer service and getting help and being able to walk into a store and point out a problem and get it fixed. Well, I have been experiencing burn-in, not image retention, but burn-in. So I'm still going to pursue an RMA on this. But the issue I reported today was in relation to a sort of smudge of sorts. Now, mind you, I've only been using this for 2 weeks, right? Very light usage in the sense. Yes, I've been using it every day, carrying it with me, certainly. But, if I set it down, it's setting face up. I only wipe it off with, the cotton cloths like I do my glasses. I've been wearing glass, ever since I can remember. I know how to treat these devices. I've used plenty of them over the years. If I stuck it in my pocket, it was stuck in there alone, nothing else in there, and my pockets are clean, because the last thing I want to do is damage the screen. And apparently that's seemingly, according to Google, what had happened, which is really strange, because I've only had it for 2 weeks, and the damage seems like I've been using it for a year. It's like the coating just did not apply properly in the first place, and I missed the mark until now, past the 2 week point of being able to return it, or something else happened. I don't know what, but I don't remember scratching it. I don't remember seeing this. It's an issue that is very visible up close, and this apparently has been not reported but seen by one other individual on the LG V30 pre-production unit that he received. So there's a similar issue, an exact same issue happening after a week's period of time in using the same effective screen from LG. So Google, does their analysis or whatever, and they say, yeah, well, this is normal wear and tear. Normal wear and tear for 2 weeks, Google? Light usage? I didn't douse chemicals on the thing. I didn't use any product on it. Give me a break. Google just basically told me to deal with it. Effectively. Them's the breaks. Oh well. So now I've spent $1,000 on this device that's got an imperfection, and we're not even talking about the blue shift and the black smearing, and we're not talking about the other screen issues like burn-in and the lower quality OLED screen that LG slapped into this thing. I'm talking specifically about the coating. So now the onus is on me to go out and find other Pixel 2 XL owners who've got the same problem 2 weeks in. It should have been sold with a screen protector. It wasn't. Google's pegging it on me. I would be shocked if I was the only Pixel 2 XL user out there who's run into this particular problem. Shocked! So I'm stuck with it, effectively, until I can report burn-in. Assuming Google doesn't blame me for that, too. Normal wear and tear. So if you want my review of the Pixel 2 XL, avoid it, because Google doesn't have a single clue what they're doing with customer service or with hardware. So if they think I'm going to just sweep this under the rug and move on and say, oh, well, them's the breaks, they got another thing coming. Be warned. If you buy a product from Google, be warned. It's your fault. I do have some super chats, so let me go ahead and address those. Shirag Bodkar says, hello, Chris. Galaxy here. Cute. And Jerome Miller says, I seen that tweet. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, you're not the only one. Okay, Marble Dash. Okay, we've seen enough of the pictures. Let's try to keep the pictures off the screen according to the chat room rules. Because they scroll too quickly and they scroll everybody else's posts. I am advertiser friendly. Google may not be my friend. But I'm keeping this very advertiser-friendly. Very much so. So I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, people. Here's the problem, right? I don't think Apple's doing any better. Long story short, it's not like Apple's doing stellar in the hardware or software department, in my estimation, or the experience department. 1, 2. I like the software experience, productivity-wise, of the Pixel 2 XL. I think productivity-wise, the Android experience on the Pixel 2 XL exceeds my productivity in general compared to iOS. Exceeds. This is a productivity device for me. So even if, say, I could look past Apple's current range of shortcomings, it comes down to usability and like what I need it to do. In the flow that I've found, that is it is rather stellar, rather clean, rather unencumbered. So this is what keeps me from looking at Android alternatives beyond the Pixel, beyond a Google made product, because then you're dealing with crap. Somebody else's idea of a good experience, which usually isn't. Or now that I really have come to appreciate the camera and the software in general and how it processes photos, anything else beyond a Pixel 2 XL right now is a step backwards. The camera, I mean, I'm telling you, they're just the photos are stellar. Let me tell you, that's unacceptable. Even though let me mute this. Even though the customer service agent did her job 100%, I'm not slagging her at all. This is not a premium type of experience. And no, I didn't pay more to be covered, because the last thing I'd think is that 2 weeks in, I'd have a problem. 2 weeks! If that, I just noticed it. It could have been 1 week in. At which point I would have required. I said, no. It's within 2 weeks. But they give you 2 weeks to notice this stuff. 2 weeks, and I'm right on that cusp. Oh yeah, I'm going to be doing a separate video about this in the other channel. Believe you me. But that was my day. being blamed by Google for what is clearly a hardware problem. I take care of my devices like you wouldn't believe. Even the ones I don't use. Someone asks in YouTube, what's your opinion on the iPhone SE? I think it's fine. Apple's effectively using, what it can to get people into the ecosystem. Good price. If you want a small device, actually pretty decent iOS performance. The more pixels you push across iOS, usually the more laggy or frame droppy it gets. And the iPhone 10 is no exception to that rule, in my eyes, and to my eyes. I know what I saw. Penguin Squad comes in with a super chat, says, Chris, I would send back the Pixel 2 XL and keep the Pixel 2. I love my Pixel 2. I didn't like the Pixel 2. It was too small. I got used to the Pixel 2 XL screen. Like, the size of it. The dimension. It worked. It was very, very nice. At this point, though, I will be trying to do an RMA on burn-in that I've been seeing. Because of the status bar buttons. Not status bar, the navigation bar buttons. So I'm between a rock and a hard place, unfortunately. And it's absolutely maddening that I have to do this. That I have to do any of this. Like, I can see it very clearly in the gray down there. The problem is I already know they're going to ask me to photograph it. So let me go ahead and get a shot off right now. Because that's what they're going to ask for. As definitive proof. As if there was no other issue. Hang on just a second. Let me get the photo here. I got to turn on HDR, of course, every single effing time. Clear off the dust and debris. They may blame me for that. You don't want it. You don't want that. You gotta do everything by the books. I don't even know if you can effectively demonstrate this any better, though. That's the problem. It's very clear. All right. Got a couple pictures. It's very subtle, but it is there. It's very subtle, especially as you back away. It's definitely there. So, man, how aggravating, man. Yeah, iPhone 10 display screen burn-in normal. Yeah, iPhone 10's of course going to get hit by it. Of course. Lloyd Dose says, tweeted you a link to others with Pix 2XL Scratchgate. Wait, what? Lloyd, you did? Hang on. I'm going to flip open my Pixel book, which I've been enjoying. I really have. Okay, let's do this. Still getting used to it and everything, but I reported an issue on this too, a bug report. On-screen keyboard came up and everything. That's nice. Squee! It's even got a night mode you can turn on in one of the flags. Hang on. Let me see it. You're not alone with Pixel. Thank you, Deuces Wild. Okay, let me tag in Ben on this. Ben, I think, is going to write a report on this. Nexus Ben. At least I think that's his handle. Nexus Ben. Yeah, there we go. That's awesome. Thank you, Deuces Wild. See, it's crazy. We're all getting blamed for this. This is what we're getting blamed for. Thank you. And by the way, TweetDeck works very well. Easy. Fast. Why didn't my pinned tabs show up, though? Oh, man. Oh, I wonder. Why didn't they show up? I figured they'd show up again with every new instance. In tablet mode, you're full screen or nothing though. Interesting. Close. This is I gotta admit I really genuinely like the Pixelbook. It's not perfect. There's definitely a lot of software problems. I also don't think it's worth $1,000. Let me show you. Let me show you the issue I reported effectively. Okay, so let me hold it up here. I'm gonna hold on to the keys. It's a little awkward the way I'm doing this. Let me show you something here. Do you see the flashing? Look at the remainder of the screen over here. Look at the watch how it kind of flashes. Can you see? Can you see it kind of? I think that's a software problem. I reported it as a bug. I don't know if it is a software problem or a hardware issue outright. I mean, I would certainly return it if it does become a hardware issue. But man, Lloyd, you may have just saved my bacon. I just retweeted you, Lloyd. Thank you. Thank you. So it's a scratch gate. See, I'm not the only one. And Google basically says, you're on your own. No, I'm not. By the way, I'd also like to apologize for the video quality of today's YouTube upload. I used, again, my Pixel 2 XL. You know, despite shortcomings, I did two things wrong. One, when I uploaded the video, which I thought was done well, I used the pop filter during upload on YouTube, so everything came out like I was dark and saturated. So now I'm processing it so I'm a couple of nits brighter on the back end. That's the first thing. The second thing, I have to use an external mic with the Pixel because the microphone just is not great. You know, they need to fix that in software. They say they're going to do that. So I used this, the external mic, the Rode Lav, but I left it dangling like this in front of me on the camera. That was a mistake. I needed to bring it a lot closer to me. So I was trying to get away with being, you know, efficient. That was my problem. I admit that was my problem. Seriously, that was totally my fault. That's totally my fault. So yeah, I'm definitely running into plenty of Google issues today. Google's customer service. To me, that's a nightmare. That makes me less inclined to recommend any of their products. That's how they're backing them. I mean, I've already felt iffy about YouTube's customer service for producers. It's a problem from the top down. Someone asked, why not use your iPhone 8 that has a working mic? Weren't you using it before? I was, and I may give it a shot again. I didn't have a problem with that. I think the reason why, honestly, is because this is no joke. The Android YouTube app is better for my workflow. I hit record. I can upload it. I can trim beginning and end, like right there in the upload tool. And then it also uploads in the background. With the iPhone, you have to babysit it. You have to clip it before uploading it. I mean, it's not as efficient. And even the built-in tool on iOS is really nasty. So, I mean, I'm talking the photo editing tool. It's not that great. Having used it extensively, it's definitely not precise. So I would much rather continue to use the Pixel 2 XL for that. And until they fix, or if they fix the microphone issue. It's not a problem using the microphone, but having to use the software is a bit tricky. Open camera is not perfect. I can't tell if it's buggy or if it's me trying to use it the way I think it needs to be used in terms of locking exposure and brightening and dimming, and trying to find that sweet spot where I'm not overexposed and I'm not underexposed. And then, of course, keeping in mind white balance. I think I finally nailed white balance for these live videos, though. That's for sure. Stop invading your home? What? What? How am I invading your home? I didn't think that was possible. Someone asks, have you ever turned down something to review just because you didn't like the company device? No, not really. I mean, I've had an opportunity to do a lot of reviews. But I haven't taken advantage of them because, honestly, I didn't find the product interesting. Not that I have, any kind of issue with the the company outright. It's just the product just doesn't fit. Let me make sure. Tag you on a tweet from someone. Okay, there's that. Yeah, it's a little laggy, the TweetDeck here in Chrome OS, but it's serviceable. It's not perfect, but I like TweetDeck. I like it a lot, and it definitely works a lot better with touch. It's almost like the touchscreen on the Chrome OS device works better than the touchpad trackpad thing. Someone asks, so are you regretting the switch to Android now, or are you just going through some frustration? Well, I think, no, as I mentioned before, I'm not aggravated with Android. I think the software experience, though it's not perfect, it definitely needs a big boost in terms of performance. Adding more RAM would certainly help, and kind of smoothing out a lot of rough spots, especially in Google's own applications, like the Google Play Store is absolutely horrific. The thing about it is it's what everything else enables it to be that becomes the challenge. So it's not Android itself. The software has been ample. Like I said, it's best in class. What Google's done is best in class, which isn't that's in my opinion, and that's not saying that it's perfect. But I really like that, which is damning, because unfortunately there's no quote unquote pure Android experience out there. Not outright. So, extreme caveats. Okay, Marble Dash, we're good with the memes for now. Let's go ahead and just stick to writing, unless it's relevant to the conversation. That'd be good. But thank you. Sometimes he does some funny things. I mean, I'm not saying he's not. Just not slagging. Just saying. Use Razer, someone says, if you want a good software experience. At a distance, it looks fine. I've reached out to see if I can get a review unit, but I don't know if it's going to happen. It comes down to finding the right person. Or y'all, if you know someone at Razer, and just tag them on Twitter. Said, hey, Razer, send Chris Pirillo a device to review, and maybe they'll pay attention. Usually it's difficult for me to ask for those kinds of things, because they're like, who is this guy? And I never pulled that with customer service, not once. I don't like doing that. I really genuinely don't. Unless I feel like they're like way overstepping, like saying, today it was like, well, you should never use this kind of chemical on the screen. I'm like, I've lived with glasses my entire life. I know how to clean these products. Like, I'm not just, a random nobody, somebody, just saying these things. Someone says, new to your channel and respect your honesty. It's refreshing. Thank you. I'll give you, you gotta give me that. I mean, at least I tell it like I see it. I don't say it like it is, necessarily. I say it how I see it. And hopefully you watch the other channel, video quality notwithstanding, the youtube.com/Chris Pirillo. Notice the status bar. I'm sorry, I'm missing some of the chat here. Your opinion on the Tech Media review of the iPhone 10, have they been useful? Me? I don't think they've been useful at all, personally. I think, getting my hands on it was reaffirming, and as I mentioned, I thought the best application on the iPhone 10 was one that was an all-black screen. This is what would get me to go, I'm not even joking, what would get me to quote-unquote embrace the notch? You want to know what that is? It's simple. Night mode. Like a pure night mode in iOS. Like a true night mode. Where the notch disappears, as does the bottom part. I mean, it's just that would be very, very compelling. It's not possible right now. I don't think I could do it. There is not a dark mode on iOS. I know everyone thinks there is, but it's not a true dark mode. It's not true. There isn't. Drop it. I know what I'm talking about. The Discord app is a perfect example of what every dev should do. Zach, I agree with that, saying that in Discord chat. And by the way, for everybody who doesn't know, Discord chat can be joined, if you want to, by becoming either a patron, patreon.com/Chris Pirillo, or a sub of mine on Twitch, subs.twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Yeah, I agree, but here's the problem. That actually violates the terms of service. Apple doesn't want developers to do that. I agree with you, Zach. If every app was like that, and you could truly make those ears disappear and the bottom part just disappear, I would have less of an issue with it. I'll tell you straight up. Seriously. Because what then would be my problem with it? Price would be a challenge, but I'd be willing to pay the money if it's a good experience. I can tell you this right now. The software is the best part of the Pixel 2 XL. It ain't the hardware. It's not, the Pixel 2 XL is not worth the price. Maybe worth half the price in terms of an experience, given this amount of problems that I'm running into specifically with the hardware. So here's another problem I'm having with the Chromebook here. I can't see the backlit keys very easily when you're in a room that's bathed in light. You have to turn them off. You can't turn them up all the way, otherwise the keys disappear. It's not a very good backlight, given that the keys are gray and then they have black lettering. It should have been the other way around. That's my belief. I mean, I like the design. I like the fact that the keys kind of match the gray and the silver of the Pixelbook. But I'm saying the only time to use those backlit keys are specifically in low light or darker situations. Is Apple correct? Someone asks when they stated that burn-in on the iPhone 10 is normal. It's OLED, dude. Image retention and burn-in are par for the course. Discord would be perfect on iOS if you could adjust the text size. Yeah, well, you can't adjust the text size on Android either. That's a shortcoming of Discord. I've complained about it, but yeah, I agree with the layout part, the Discord app being perfect, but that's what I'm saying, dude. Isn't this good enough? Not quite. It's not true dark mode. You actually have the way that they implemented it is a little bass-ackwards. They don't, not everything gets reversed. Some things get reversed properly and other things not so much. It's like a half-assed dark mode. But it's iOS. If you want something half-assed, you know where to go. Do I think Google will fix some of the issues with the recall? No, they will not. Twosome Gaming. By the way, I haven't seen your handle in here. Welcome. I don't think they will. But given that there are different people who are reporting the Scratchgate or whatever, and I think we're actually going to get a report on it. We'll actually get some movement from Google on this particular issue. I don't think they're going to do a recall though. That would be devastating to them. I wish they could just change providers midstream, right? But because they've got these components and this speed and this camera, everything in this particular product, it's like you've got to deal with this head wound problematic screen. I don't mind. Okay, so lock down and customize your own phone. I think Apple's approach is actually not a bad one. Users can just RMA it theoretically. I was told that it was normal wear and tear. Now I'm going to be reporting screen burn-in. Let's see here. In your estimation, asks Corey Moore, did Google cheap out with regards to hardware and Pixel products? I don't think they cheaped out. I think they chose the wrong partner. I would be very nervous about getting any product that had LG on it at this stage, given what I've experienced. I've got an LG OLED TV. It's fine. I'm not having a problem with the TV at all. But given the amount of problems I've seen specifically in relation to the screen with the LG V30 and now the Pixel 2 XL, unless they leapfrog their technologies over the next year, I would avoid. Skycop70 says, did you see the class action suits have started? I think class action suits are a little far for Google Pixel 2 XL. I don't think a class action is warranted. They just chose the wrong technology. People, they want something different. I just don't think that different is always better. And I don't necessarily think that OLED is necessarily... outright better, like leaps and bounds. We've taken steps forward, but have also taken several steps back. If you asked me, Chris, would you choose a screen that had that was an LCD or an OLED display? You know, knowing that the power efficiency and the lights being on versus being off and all that stuff, I would probably choose an LCD right now. So, waited so long for an order, now I feel like I'm going to get a dud of a phone. Be forewarned, dude. Like it's not. This is not a. It's not a perfect situation. It's not a perfect environment. Tony gets a pass. What? Have you seen how some Pixel 2 XLs are shipping without Android and they could face a lawsuit? Well, Izzy7052, I have seen that. It's a little odd that they don't ship with Android. I'm like, okay. minor speed bump there. Just take it into the local Google store. Oh, wait, you can't. Did those users get blamed too? It's Gorilla Glass 5, isn't it? If this phone has the issue, shouldn't all others that use the same glass? It's something in the coding. Apparently, like I said, it's got to be something in the processing and how they're managing it. It's the coding. I don't think it's the glass. I think it's the coding. And this, I guess the scratch that everyone that people are talking about is you know, you can see the Galaxy Note 7's Gorilla Glass 5 scratches easily. So it could be deeper than deep. But the fact that it happened 2 weeks in, man. Ugh. Someone says this year's phone lineups are dreading. They are. They're awful. I think they're awful. Did you see the end of my video today in the other channel? It was serious. I mean, I was just really feeling depressed. Like, because I didn't even begin to tell everybody about this problem that I've had with Google. I don't know how LG messed up so badly either. They have the tech, it's just too expensive to implement. Well, what's more expensive? Customers being driven away? Or, you know, paying for a quality product? Really? I only said it twice? That's not right. Outright, that's not right. You see what I did there? I said outright. I put outright in there in talking when I said right. I said it outright. Good luck catching up with that count. If you don't recommend the Pixel now, what phone do you recommend? None of them. There's not a single phone on this planet that I recommend. They're all horrible for different reasons. And maybe I'm the only one who has the nerve to tell you that. You know, inevitably, there's got to be one that's the best, and it's awesome, and it beats it all. No, they're all horrible for different reasons. They're either too expensive, or they're not designed very well, or they're extremely lacking in the software department. Or the hardware's a massive head wound shortcoming. Or customer service is an issue. They're all horrible. Just to different degrees. That's how I feel. That's genuinely how I feel. Not a single one. Not a single one. Have I tried using rubbing alcohol? So, isopropyl, you know, I did use if I use anything, it's usually tap water, clean water. And that's when I noticed the issue, the glaring issue. I'm like, this is definitely not just a scratch. This is more than just superficial. Like, I'm not just talking about a superficial scratch. I'm talking about something that was like a rub off. And I'm like, I haven't used, it's like, seriously, it's like someone used steel wool over that particular area of the phone. You have to look at it at the right angle in order to even see it. Like, it's something's not right. In fact, let me explain this to Ben. To look at it at the perfect angle to see the mark. At other angles, it's invisible. There's no way I could have done this. You know what I'm saying? You can't, at the right angle, you can't see it. I mean, like, you look around, you're like, where the hell is it? There's no way I could have done that. Zero chance. That screen wobble on the Pixelbook, yeah. Did you see it? Was it wobbling? Actually, it's not too wobbly. Like, if you tap it, yeah, it'll wobble. If you put it in temp mode, it doesn't wobble so much. Someone says I should make an FU Google video. No, I gave him a tongue lashing in Twitter. I basically said they effed me. I mean, I was a little more flowery than that. Because I don't have to worry about not being advertiser friendly on Twitter. I tagged Made by Google. I'm like, really? Really? This is my problem? I know what it's... Dude, if I was like you're going bang, bang, you know, all day long for 2 weeks in a row, I can understand. I'd have some damage. Penguin Squad. Oh, I missed your super chat. I apologize. He says, what's the best bad phone then? Why you gotta do this to me? Oh. Honestly, it's shaping up, and I don't even have one. It's shaping up to look like a Note 8 with extreme caveats. That being in relation to the software. The camera's okay. It ain't a Pixel 2 XL camera. And it ain't the Pixel 2 XL software. Ugh. And I'm a software guy. I can tell you this, it ain't the iPhone. It absolutely is not the iPhone. Kurt says, I was so excited for the Pixel 2, but now I'm so disappointed. Hopefully the Razer phone will be better. I don't know. Checks all the basics, except they won't talk about the cameras. I think they've got a long way to go with the cameras. That's what would make me very nervous about a Razer phone. There's the counter. Boy, I got a lot of catching up to do. Hang on. Dang, dude. Jeez. Hang on. Where is it? Hang on. Seeing this illustrates the problem with the supply chain going back to single companies. It's just not enough suppliers that are out there that can produce at high enough levels. It's a sad state of affairs. Going back to the Google conference when he said all phones are basically the same now. Truth is they are. Same chip, same glass, same internals. The shells are the only thing that's different. Pretty much. All this cool technology, you can't seem to enjoy it. For the most part, yeah. I think everyone's rushing to beat the other with better tech, and quality is suffering. Big time! There we go. Companies don't want to accept responsibilities for issues. Of course not. Of course they don't want to accept those issues. Of course they don't. Chris needs a tech vacation. I wish. Trust me, I wish. Okay, I'm finally caught up with this. Time to get a flip phone like my dad. Yeah, you know, they make, flip phone touchscreens now. Who makes these now? These pieces of junk? Note 8 Jank City. Yeah, no, I hear it. I hear you. But the problem is, Pixel 2 XL is screen crap city. The problem with iPhone, iOS city. You know, it's... I begrudgingly, that I don't know what the worst bad phone is, or the best bad phone out there is. What's going to take the crown? I don't know. They all are horrible for different reasons. You're never going to... I can't wait for the day when I can say, finally, this feels like it's worthy of my time, my attention. It is something that provides value. That's good, stem to stern. Google's customer service is like 30% of it. So they've lost 30% off the top. 30% gone. Getting blamed for this. Jerome Miller Jr. comes in with a super chat. Have you seen Jerry Riggs Everything vids on the Pixel 2 and 2XL? What was that? Who clinged me? Was it? What dinged me? This did? Ding ding super chat. No, that's not it. I have that muted, I thought. Is it my... No, I don't think it's my notifications. I have seen Jerry Riggs Everything. He basically like destroys the Pixel 2 XL, and it doesn't take much. Like, it does not take much to break this thing. The Pixel 2 XL might as well be called Mr. Glass. Oh, it is this. Oh, I need to mute the Pixel book. I apologize. It's Mr. Glass. You might as well just call the Pixel 2 XL Mr. Glass. Because it's fragile. Fragile! If I would have known... I mean, I was waiting for a screen protector, to put a screen protector on there before something bad happened. I just couldn't imagine it would have happened within 2 weeks. Ugh. Can always put this in back in the 8 Plus, devil you know, and all. Lol. No, like I said, I'm going to RMA this. I'm going to send it. It's got screen burn-in, dude. Like, that's a problem. In 2 weeks, on top of these other problems. It's not my problem to deal with. I'm just trying to live life, man. But I gotta tell you, I'm very happy. I'm very happy not being tied to iOS. Android works better, specifically on the Pixel 2 XL, despite the hardware shortcomings. Kind of like I said over and over again. I think Android is a best-in-class platform. Best-in-class experience in general. Software, when you're talking about something closer to a pure experience. Dan Nagura comes in with the super chat saying, using the iPhone 10 now, iOS 11.2 has no UI lag at all. Really? That's odd, because mine does. I'm using the iPhone 8 Plus. It has lag, so maybe the 10 doesn't have it, but I can tell you the 8 Plus has it. I've had people tell me that the 10 doesn't have lag, but what I saw in the store today, it wasn't always a clean and a smooth experience. It's honestly no better or no worse than Android. But the problem is you have to suffer through initial iterations of software, and you're going to run into the same problem when iOS 12 is released, because Apple doesn't know how to optimize software. They don't care. Apple doesn't care about software. I've said this before. I'll keep saying it. They don't care. You need no other case in point other than recognize that Discord is doing it right in their iOS app, or the Stocks app looks amazing. When those are exceptions to the rule, Apple doesn't give a flying flip about software. Says they've proven that point. Dan, Chris has robotic eyes that see super slow-mo. He will see the lag. I will. It's not that I want to. It's like, really? I thought this was allegedly the world's fastest device. Mad Bear asks in Discord, if you had to build the best phone from what's out there now, what are you taking from which phone? What does your phone look like? Well, the Pixel 2 XL with the I guess the screen of the Note 8. Is that fair? That's honestly, that would be pretty nice. It'd be rather amazing. I don't know in terms of which is the sturdiest out there, but I choose a sturdy one. And maybe I'd go with the sturdiness of an iPhone. And I mean, they're not perfect, but with the screen of a Samsung screen, like in the Note 8, and then the software that Google's done. Let me take that back. With the Razer screen running at 120 hertz, 120 frames per second, running the pixel modifications of Android, and so I did. I'm sorry, not to take away from Samsung. I'm going to go with Razer on this one. Thank you for reminding me, and also reminding me that the Yahtzee app is available, and you can get it and earn points at the same time by heading over to go.tagjag.com/free points. It's true. You can go there. I use it on iOS or Android. With the Razer speakers is what Tony Yoon says. Yeah, I agree. I've heard, so to speak, good things about the Razer speakers. I'm rather interested in hearing him for myself. So yeah, I'd choose the Razer speakers, the Razer screen at 120 hertz, the Pixel internals, and the responsiveness. But I don't know. I'd like to see it, and the Pixel camera, of course, naturally. Whoa, Zach Berjawi comes in again. Zach, keeping me honest. He says, Chris, with a huge super chat. Thank you, Zach. He says, you've given me tech advice, you've given me relationship advice, and everything Star Wars. I've appreciated every single video you've ever made, whether I've agreed or not. Don't ever change. Much love, Zach. I promise not to change. If anything, I'm going to become even more of a curmudgeon as I get older. So expect not less Chris Pirillo, but more Chris Pirillo. More Pirillo-y Pirillo-ness in your future. As long as I'm kicking. I plan on kicking for a while. I'll tell it like it is. I just telling it like I see it. Calling it like I see it. Saying it like I see it. I don't know. Dan Nagura says they probably focused on optimizing the 10 to have a great release and neglected the other models. Yeah, it's starting to look that way. It's starting to feel that way. I don't really know any other way of saying it. I mean, and that's sad because I think they could have done even more with the 10, and I think have shortchanged they shortchanged a lot of you, and you may not see it, and you're willing to look past it, but they could have done such a better job with that. They should have done it differently. Look at that Stocks app, or look at any app like Discord, and then you just see like what it could have been. That's what's disappointing. In fact, I'm not going to say that it necessarily would have kept me in iOS outright, but there's another one for your notch. Put another notch in your notchy thing. Yeah, it's disappointing. I'm holding Apple to Apple's own standards, though. We even screwed over. I gotta be careful what I say. Not advertising friendly. Every Android device using the same Snapdragon 835. Only difference is battery, RAM, shell, and interpretation of Android. The last one has always been the biggest deal for me. The phone could be ugly as all get out, but if it has the best and cleanest interpretation of Android, it's a winner in my book. Yeah, pretty much. That's how I feel about the Pixel. You want to know the best thing that's happened to me today? Well, okay, Zach, you win. Zach has been the best thing that's happened to me today. That was a wonderful super chat. That is very, very helpful. That is very, very useful. You have no idea. Apart from that, the best free thing that happened to me today was getting this. See this? I got it for free. I ordered one. They sent two. So I got two of them. This is the Guardians of Evil. Comes with the Senate Guard. These three are only, I believe these three are just available in this set. The Emperor's Royal Guard, ERG, has been previously available. But I got these for free! Yeah! Yeah! Ow! So excited. Darren Connolly says, would you use an iPhone 10 if you were given it for free? Lol. Well, it didn't show up today, so the chances of it showing up between now and forever are between slim and none. I think the iPhone 10 fever will break in about a month's time, and then everyone will wonder, how did we ever get along with an iPhone before the iPhone 10? And then Apple saying, we need to double down on the notch next year. They don't mind the notch, we'll give them another notch. So, time for me to jump ship. At least as far as that goes. Although, like I said, I'm probably still going to be holding on to the 8 Plus for now. Ow. Are you disappointed by the Pixel? I missed this week's videos due to midterms. Huh. Yeah, Dan. You'll have to rewind this video and understand why I'm disappointed. Because otherwise, I got to repeat it for everybody. I'm sure everyone wants to hear me complain about it. Swifty apparently is not watched in a while either, or doesn't hear it or see it. Asked what I think of the new Razer phone. I talked about this pretty extensively the day of its launch. And also, at least once during tonight's live broadcast. Essential Phone was on my radar until I heard about the cameras. No amount of discount here in the Great White North can convince me. Yeah, and it goes beyond the lack of quality in their cameras. Generally, it's not been, like, visually, performance-wise, it's not something that I could recommend outright, even with the latest patches. You can't rewind live video, I don't think. I think I have to toggle something here, and I usually don't. Canada with the super chats and our colored cache. I like your cache, actually. I like it. It's a lot more exciting for me to see your cache than ours. Ours is boring. It's boring. What's not boring? A Senate Guard. Coruscant. Never released in the 6-inch scale. So happy to have... Now, I guess probably, well, two of them, of course. But what's interesting and kind of weird is that they used the same... they did it to save money, but they used the same sculpt on these three of these figures. The Shadow Guard, the Senate Guard, and the Emperor's Royal Guard. And you can tell because of the hands and how the hand is kind of pointed. The finger's kind of pointed like that. Did I see someone asks on Twitter? Someone asks on YouTube. Did you see the iPhone 10 also suffers from a blue tint when the phone is viewed off axis? Yeah, it's an issue that I think is inherent to the OLED screen technology. I could be wrong, but I never slagged the Pixel phone for that particular shortcoming either. Okay, there we go. He's looking nice. He's looking all Senate Guardy. Yeah, look at that Senate Guard. It's kind of awkward there with this cloak, but it'll work. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is on the cusp. That should make you happy. I know. I'm looking forward to playing it. I saw someone else say it. Or did you mention it again? Sorry. I'm very excited for The Last Jedi. Very much so. And by the way, Immortal One, welcome to the chat. I did see that you joined the other day. Thank you very much. It's good to see you here officially. Or there. The OP5T. Yeah, the OnePlus I'd like to possibly try, but I'm still waiting to hear back from their media press relations, and I never did, so I don't know if that's going to happen. I want to try to review it. You know, despite what I've said before about it, I'd really like to. I'd like to review it, but they're not getting back to me necessarily, so I can't. I'm also planning on playing Battlefront in the Star Wars Radar YouTube channel. That'll be fun. Here, wait, hang on. Do it like that. We'll do it like that. See, there we go. We got 2 guards. A blue one and a red one. This is the one I'm kind of excited to see. Wow. Oh, this Shadow Guard. Oh, this Shadow Guard. How am I going to get this out of the box? Dang, I don't want to break it. Earl Green comes in with the super chat, says, with all the problems you're having with the Pixel 2 XL, is Diana still interested in keeping her other Pixel 2 phone? So, Diana's always on the fence, and I wish I could get her past it. I don't know if there's a way to get her past it. You know, I'm just concerned about keeping anything of Google's right now. I want to like it. I like the software. But unfortunately, if they're not willing to support it, you know, why should I continue down that path? And it just seems like Google abandoned me. Just like I felt Apple abandoned me in terms of what I was looking for or what I was needing. Check this out. Check out this blade. So he's got a lightsaber and a dark saber, like a red lightsaber, and then I'd assume that's a dark saber on the other side, the equivalent. But he's got the same pointy hand as does the Emperor's Royal Guard. But this is the one that I know everyone wanted to buy this set for. I guarantee it. The first Shadow Guard that is a 6-inch scale. I think I do. I have I have the version of this in the 3 3/4 inch. I have the Lego one, but I didn't have the black one until today. This is the one they released in the current wave of Star Wars figures. Let's see here. I'm not sure if I've got this on the hand correctly. There we go. Steve Jacobs says, I don't think Diana was ever interested in keeping the Pixel 2. Lol. She was. It's just that she's familiar with iOS, and it's difficult to make a change. You know, once you've grown accustomed to a particular platform, it's difficult to shift away. Not without a lot of concerns. Man, oh, that guy looks awesome, dude. And luckily, I have another one of these sets because I have plenty of the Emperor's Royal Guards, not a Senate Guard, which I like, but this one right here. I kind of need 2 Shadow Guards flanking the screen. What do you think? It's pretty cool. The iPhone 10 is a pain to support as a developer. Hey, no doubt about that. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. See, if I could find a sponsor for the OnePlus 5T, I'll get it. So I'm working very hard to find a sponsor. You know, I'm worried though that I won't have updated everything in terms of the privacy and leaking data, like I pointed out before. Steve Jacobs says, who are the Shadow Guards? Have we seen them before? I think originally they weren't canon, but I think they were brought into canon. I can't remember where, though, or how. This is one of the, I'm not sure. You know, I love the general design, except for their helmets. I don't like any of the new Elite Praetorian Guard helmets. These definitely have not grown on me. I didn't like them initially, and I don't like them now. The helmet sculpt, the head sculpt is not. Everything else I like. I like the lobster look. But the helmet sculpt of the ones that I've seen, I just don't think they did very well. Personally. I looked at an iPhone 10 in an Apple store yesterday. The notch is even more hideous when viewed in person. I tried using it. I'm like, yeah, I made the right decision. For me. That's just me. You'd have to look up in Wikipedia, Steve Jacobs one, the Shadow Guards and where they came in specifically in canon, because to my knowledge, they can't, or they're not really producing a lot of figures anymore that aren't canon. Hang on, let me read. I'll read you the description, Steve. Let's see here. Oh, it is Legends. Never mind. Emperor's Shadow Guard. It is Legends. My bad. Each one of these elite guards is specially chosen by Palpatine for his exceptional loyalty to the Emperor and the Empire, for his ability to use the Force. Each Shadow Guard carries a pike that can be ignited to use as a lightsaber-like blade. So there you go. I guess he was Legends. I thought he was brought into canon once, but maybe not. Maybe he will come into canon because that design, man. Whew. If I'm honest, once I was absorbed in the software, it disappeared. I was surprised by that because I thought it would be very off-putting. You know, I tried to lose myself in the software, but inevitably I couldn't. I couldn't get lost in the software. I just kept going back to that, and then I started thinking, it's iOS. That I think is the iPhone's biggest downfall, is that it's iOS. And I know some people are like, what? But that's its greatest strength. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that anymore. I used to believe that, but not so much anymore. I've become a fan of how Google is handling various things about the average operating system. What's the future of Star Wars radar? Asks someone on YouTube. Onward and upward. Still tweeting from there. I'll be doing boy. There's hardly any articulation to be had in these arms. I'll be doing live streams, I hope, of Battlefront gameplay. Boy, this is kind of difficult to get the blade exactly where it needs to be held. How is he supposed to hold that blade? Okay, that's the way he's gonna hold it then. Guys, what? My wife just texted me from her new iPhone 10. Okay, cool. Hey, Benz98. I've literally called Apple for the tiniest thing, and they've simply sent me a brand new phone within 10 minutes. Google not helping you with the real issue is absolutely shocking. No, I agree. Zach, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's horrible customer service, especially given the issues that we've seen specifically from the Pixel 2 XL screens. This is not an isolated incident. Far from it. And it looks that since someone was able to basically pull up other reports, I'll be able to get 9 to 5 Google to report on it. I needed corroborating evidence. So I'm very happy that someone reported it. Get her an eye ring. My Apple mouse is out of battery. Yeah, you got to plug it into the bottom. Good luck with that. I ordered my Motorola bag phone today. Can't wait. There's a, what? Skycop 70? There's a bag phone? I don't know what the bag phone is, but... That's the one thing, though. You know, if you find Zach, you know, if you've got your if she's on board, that's awesome. Diana looked at it the same way I did. See, that's how you know you're with the right person. When they look at the same phone and have the same reaction, whatever that phone happens to be. You feel me, Zach? Oh, I missed it. Lol. Oh, what did I miss? Diana doesn't like the iPhone 10. We'd have problems. I'd be like, yeah. I think it's like she spoke when she did her video. It's a problem when you're just in this habit. You're in the cycle. You're in the routine. Oh, I missed the joke. Apparently, Corey Moore, subject change. You've said several times you want to change the Lockergnome in that you would like to help other creators. Yeah. Is there a specific model you have in mind for doing this? Sort of like Leo and Twit, several different personalities and shows under the Lockergnome banner. That's what I dreamed of years ago. It just never happened. It never happened. No, I want to help other creators in deeper capacity, and that's what's kind of been on a back burner for a while for a lot of different reasons. Most of them beyond my control. I don't like this phone. It's too big. My hand hurts holding it. I'm going to kill you. Seriously, I have thumb cramps. What? Wait, but then she got it. That's what's funny. Wait, hang on. Wait, am I missing it? Wait, who wrote what? Apparently I'm missing it. I missed the joke entirely. Oh, she doesn't like it. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, a lot of even Bob what's his name from Apple he worked on the first iPhone team at Apple, who also believes the iPhone 10 is a monstrosity. Basically said, imagine the thumb cramps that are going to happen after using this thing. So he was kind of prescient. I have, I will tell you, I've got the Pixelbook Pen, unboxed it yesterday, but I don't think I'm going to keep this. I think I'm going to be returning this. I'm still not inclined to support, despite having some initial impressions of the Pixelbook, which I may record this weekend. Tomorrow's video is going to be me slagging Google for this customer service issue and warning people against it. This is what it boils down to for me. It's like just this is not something that should have been a question. Bob Burrows, thank you very much. That's who it was. Oh, we're at an hour. I got to start winding down, winding out, winding whatever. I suppose I could do a podcast today, or attempt to do one. If you head over to twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo, join me there now. I will record it. I'll plug in the microphone and make sure I do it properly this time so you can hear me. Thank you for joining us for the live stream. I do appreciate all the support you've been giving, all the super chats, all the regular chats, all the subs, all the patrons, all the people, all the support out there, all the time. It's been absolutely wonderful to see, and so I do appreciate it. More than you'd ever know. Thank you again for your kind attention. Head over to patreon.com/Chris Pirillo to become a sub, or head over to twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Wait. To be a patron. No. Transpose those things. Thank you for your support. You would get access to the Discord chat by becoming a sub or a patron. I am going to try to trip through a 20-minute video on Twitch here in a few minutes, streaming live over there. I'm going to use my Pixelbook as the kind of split-screen chat experience, and my, not iPhone, my Pixel, which, by the way, it definitely, wait a minute, how could it be, how come, oh, I know why my Pixel's not charging. By the way, there's reports saying that the Pixel doesn't do fast charging like it's reported. Like, they actually throttle it down. The Pixel 2 XL specifically. Pixel 2 XL is just not shaping up to be a fantastic product at all. We got a super chat. Oh, Zach Brajawi comes in. He says, number of outrights. I counted this one, too. Okay, great. Oh, my Emperor's Royal Guard fell over. No, you stand up. There we go. You stand up. There we go. You stay there. Wait. I love you. I appreciate you. But I'm going to head over to Twitch now to do the podcast that I hope everyone's subscribed to. I will upload a new one tonight. Possibly leapfrogging and doing the tonight's first before anything else, because I want to get this story out there sooner rather than later. I love you. I appreciate you. But at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices and hope that you watch the channel, the other YouTube channel, with the video that I put over there earlier today about the iPhone 10 first impressions. May the Force be with you.